Hey guys. Um, so today we kind of saw what I talked about in the last video. It wasn't perfect. The first half of the day kind of went how I thought it would. We moved up to that 4-6 area, and we were ejected from it. I think we touched it like 3 or 4 times, but ended up not clearing it today. Closed it on the day at 450. Um, What do I think about Monday? I've thought about a couple scenarios in my head about Monday, how I think it could play out. So I'll just go through all three of them real quick. Monday, my absolute most picture perfect scenario in my head that could work is that in the pre-market Monday, you dip down to this really strong 440 support there. Yeah, in the pre-market. And market open, it would trigger an ungodly amount of buying, and you would have a stupid candle, uh, at least to start the day. Another thing I think could happen is that you just kind of burn a day, rounding off here, maybe finish close to 440, and then Tuesday you'd have a really nice high volume green day. Um, or another scenario I could see happening is that you push over that 460 mark and you hold there, maybe Monday end of day close or Tuesday, and then within the next day or two, you'd see a really strong push to 480 to $5. I can't describe how confident I am that you're going to see $5 very soon. I said five trading days, so by Friday, I think that you see $5 at the absolute least. Um, yeah, it's oversold at this point, and you're sitting currently and these two historically, when it comes to post May pop, you're sitting in these two very strong support levels, or in between these two, sorry. 460 and 440. You're not going to sit here for long. Nothing in this chart tells me you're going to sit here for multiple days trading in this 20-cent region. And like when I look at this, it looks like the bottom has been put in. We dipped down to 436. We had a nice green day here. You're not going to see. You have one example of a couple days of trading, but it's just a few. And then you had a nice green momentum up. Like we talked about in the last video, every single time you enter this range or drop outside this range for a second, you get sucked right back up. Every single time, examples. Um, so yeah, still as bullish as ever on the short term. In my, you know, as far as my squeeze scenario goes, I think very easily if you touch this 440 range, it could trigger enough buying to send it to, you know, a huge percent gain. Or clearing over this 460, uh, stabilizing, springing, or, getting that to that 480 range and, blowing past 5 and getting to there. But to be conservative, I do think you're going to see $5 very soon. Um, if you want to look at, let's bring up the Bollinger Bands. So we talked about 2 videos ago about how AMC hates trading outside of the Bollinger Bands and how we were going to suck back in, and we did. We closed out, and we got sucked right back in these Bollinger Bands. If you guys want to see some brain rot data of the day to get you excited for a possible big move, we'll start with this. Take this with a grain of salt, guys. This means not too much, but so we print 5 here, 5 reds on the CVD. We have a top wick, and we haven't printed 5 in a row since right here, we have a top wick, and then we have a disgusting candle. So, take that with a grain of salt, and then, I'll bring up my kooky technicals for you. This is complete crap, guys. Do not put any value into this, but I just thought it was very interesting. So I counted daily candles in between MACD crosses, and I came I came across just like some very spookily symmetrical crosses. So here you had 5 days before you crossed, and then your next cross was 2.5 days away. And then from here, you had 17 days till your next cross. And then you had 8.5 days until your next cross. So these go into each other perfectly. These have perfectly. These have perfectly. And then this is where it gets even stupider. So from here to here would be 36 days, right? And then you would think that obviously you'd need 18 days to continue this symmetrical hypothesis that I have. Well, you have 8 days. You have 36 to 8. So you're like, oh, well, that's completely invalidated. And I don't think it had much weight to begin with. But just to make the theory go on, you have this, what I would call an invalidation, where the MACD kind of kisses right here, but it doesn't cross. And that was 20 days after this cross. You might be thinking, well, that 20 needs a half, doesn't it? Even though it's invalidated. It's so stupid. So if you take this half, which should be 10, and you add it to this 8, you would get 18, which would make this 36 symmetrical. And your 18 would put you at Thursday, the 3rd of October. And I mean, this could very well cross by then, and you could see a nice big move. It's complete BS, guys. Do not take any weight into this. I have way too much time on my hands when it comes to this chart, but if you take anything from this video, very bullish on the short term. I think we'll see at least $5 within the next 5 days. So, yeah, that's what I got.